What's up, guys? It's your boys Awoki back out with another Chris Watts video. But today's video is a little different because it's about somebody else that possibly was with Chris. I can't say yay or nay for this person, but you guys have been blowing up my Instagram and my Facebook and so forth, asking me to watch this video, which is from Secret in the Dark, a great YouTube channel. If you guys have not gone over there yet and subscribe, comment, like, and share, I suggest you highly do so right now. Link is in the description. But this is Chris Watts was really sweet until I found out the truth, and I ended up in the ICU, a full interview. So, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that's Wilkie myself has posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you so much for the love and support that you guys do show on my channel. I'm truly blessed to have every single one of you. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, is this that? Is that Manda woman? Okay, I haven't heard this one yet.
Detective Kenny said, my name is Dave Baumhofer from Detective Kenny said, my name is Dave Baumhofer from Detective for Frederick Police Department, and I'm the lead investigator on the Watts case.
Oh, okay, this is Baumhofer. Okay.
Somewhere along the line, you made some statements about how you know Chris.
Yeah, I met on Tinder at the beginning of like March-ish.
Okay.
And it was
So did they confirm this by seeing if Chris had a Tinder profile?
just like, I don't know, it was like Fast and Furious. I have a whole bunch of like articles written about me, and I think it's kind of like crossing over with the other girl.
Or was this woman hired from Nichol Kessinger to throw off? Because apparently, allegedly, Trent Bolton was a cousin of a friend of Nichol Kessinger's. I don't know the validity in that, but who knows if this woman was a diversion.
But like people have been like taking random pictures of me just walking down the street, and I just, you know, I have no idea what to say. You know, I mean, we just met once, and
Okay, and this was March of
this year,
2018, and you met on Tinder? Okay, what, I've never used Tinder. Is there like a username, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's just like a profile you create. I've gotten back on there because you can deactivate it and reactivate it. You can either go off like your Facebook or Gmail, or you can just make a whole new like account or something like that. And so I went back.
I've never used Tinder. I haven't had to use Tinder because I used Meet Me back in the day to find my fiance that I have now. But Tinder, I'm guessing you just swipe left, swipe right, or swipe left and swipe right to figure out who you're compatible with. And I would have loved to see that Chris was either on there and actually this is confirmed, or if it's just another person trying to get some fame, as you will.
Back and checked, and his profile wasn't there, so he must have deleted it on him end.
Okay, what was his profile name?
I don't remember. It just said Chris.
They have like a picture. It said Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
And
just...
the pictures I remember he posted were him. It was like, I guess like a catfish thing, but he used another guy's like picture. It looked similar, and it was definitely not the guy in the picture when I met him. I said it was just like a one-time thing, like on the I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
It's okay, no, just relax.
So the picture wasn't actually Chris. That makes no sense.
Nothing to hide, nothing at all. I mean, you know, it's a little bit overwhelming, but, you know, and it's humiliating on, like, my end. It makes me feel, you know, come off as a whore. But, you know, I mean...
So just walk me through from the one time that you said you met Chris at Tinder. Just walk me through that day, evening, whatever it was, that time period.
A lot of ums.
We just, met. I don't know, it's like so blurry. And we just like met at the parking lot at Chick-fil-A. I don't know, it sounds funny. And I got something to drink, and then we just went back to my house, and
You both went back to your house? Okay, so
followed me.
which Chick-fil-A was that?
One on Center Place.
On Central Place?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if they checked the cameras.
So he drove here?
Yeah. And like, I just, it's around.
And what kind of car, I would have asked. Because he only had the one car, and in March, Shanann would have been still here. So that would have been a lot harder to do. Plus, he wasn't able to drive the truck because it was a work truck. So let's see if she says anything about the car.
Around like the February, March time period. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm not, but you know, I'm not trying to, you know, sound like a whore or not, but you know, I went through a nasty divorce, and you know, my kids are in Vermont, and so I just kind of went wild, and you know, it's
whatever.
not safe, and you know.
I'm not gonna judge you for that. That's not the purpose of this meeting. So don't worry about that. I don't care. So talk to me just a little bit about where you met up. You said at the Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
Did you both drive there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was he driving?
He was driving a truck.
Okay. What did that truck look like?
I think it was like Navy or something.
Navy.
Yeah, like blue, black, something like that.
Okay.
Navy, blue, or black. He didn't have a truck like that. He had a brown truck.
Do you know what kind of truck? Is it just a pickup? Anything specific about it or unique about it?
If I remember. And then I remember.
Sounds like a whole lot of NK's lingo, as you will.
Just kind of, I don't know, I got something to drink, and then we just like, it was like so humiliating for me. I mean, because I mean, the meetup was just about sex. So we kind of just like went and, you know, met him somewhere. And it wasn't like a, I know it's kind of funny now, but it was like a killer. And, you know, no radars went off or anything. And so then it's just like scary. Like, I had this guy in my home, and, you know, we, you know, had sex, and he left.
Was that in the truck?
No, it was in my house.
So you both pull up at the Chick-fil-A, and he pulls up in the navy blue truck, and you pull up in your car. What happened? Just walk me through that with a little bit of detail.
I think I just didn't care.
Don't worry about that. That's just us in this room, and I could care less about that kind of stuff.
So it's just to kind of just get a picture of like him, like what a, you know, like a character, like kind of thing. So I remember he walked over to my car. I drive a Honda CRV, and we're like, oh, you want to go in or anything? And so I went inside. He stayed out there, and I got some drink, and we just sat down and talked for a little bit. I remember talking to him about the Anadarko, where he worked, because my ex-husband tried to get on with them, but he had a history of like domestic violence and everything, so they wouldn't hire him. And so I remember that conversation, and he was like, oh, that's funny.
Interesting.
So I just remember that. And then he said that he was like split from his ping pong baby mama, and she wouldn't let him see his kids. And I remember kind of clicking with him about that, because my boys are in Vermont with my ex-husband, and it's been a nasty battle. And so so that was kind of like the conversation, and then we agreed to go back to my place, and we did it, and it was the end of the communication.
Okay. Excuse me. So the Tinder thing, got a couple questions about how that works. So is that just like an app where you can chat?
Yeah, you swipe left or right, and then if you match, then you can talk. If not, you move on.
So did you actually talk on the phone with him before you met? Like, hey, meet me at the Chick-fil-A. How does that work?
So we talked back and forth, and then I had a different number through like a text now app, just because I was really like, I'm really like funny about who has my like number. Like I'm all about like my privacy and stuff. So I was talking to him through like a text now app. I no longer have my phone. I do have a new one, but I'm kind of like, I don't have Tinder on this one. But yeah, I mean, it's just a regular dating app, like Plenty of Fish or like Cupid or something.
I never did any of those.
So then you arranged the meeting at Chick-fil-A?
Through Tinder.
I mean, how did you actually, was it all texting, or is it all, did you say meet me at Chick-fil-A and
Once you have like evidence to support this?
On Center Place, or
I do remember that.
and how did he know to find you?
Because he had that text now number. It's a number that I use. So I talk to people like my clients or something.
Let me guess,
like
WhatsApp?
Because I do hair, and said I don't like people having like my actual phone number. So it was a text now app. I said this was a long time ago. I couldn't even tell you what number he had. Like I don't have anything like.
So he called you on this text now phone number? So
He didn't call me. It was all through text and stuff.
It was all through text, but you don't remember the number?
Okay.
About what time do you think that was?
Like, what do you mean? What time it was?
Like time of day, night?
Let's see. So, like, the day or two before, we just, like, talk like, hey, what's up? And then it was just more of, like, a...
Like, hey, what's up? That's very vague.
For the moment, like...
But I mean, what time
of day did we, like...
Yeah, was it in the evening when you were done with the...
Yeah.
At the Chick-fil-A? It was in the evening? About what time do you think, though?
Like 7:45-ish. It was after I got off of work, and I went straight there. I got off of work at 7, so...
So about time it took you to drive there? Okay, so you're messaging while you're at work about where to meet and all?
While I was at work, yeah, we decided to meet there and just meet and do it, I mean, it's pretty hard for me to talk about because I had to explain to my parents, like I said, when he was at my door, I mean, it was just like, I mean, like I said, like after, my boys left in the divorce and stuff like that, I just went like batshit crazy and just, hooked up with.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, it's just, I wish I could remember more details, but like, seriously, like, it's so shameful for me to say, up until like, a couple of weeks ago, I would say, like, I just was able
She says, a lot.
to calm down and, I also had like a brain injury last year, traumatic brain injury, and I think that kind of contributes to my memory and stuff like that. But
how did that occur? Don't mind me asking.
It was in January of last year, and I fell and hit my head on ice, and it was hard. And I just remember waking up. I was in that basement apartment when that Chris was at, and I remember. My mom, I did pick up my daughter from school, and my mom kind of thought that was weird, and she came to I don't know how I made it back into the house, but she came in, and next thing I know, like, I woke up in ICU, so, I mean, I was there for, like, 5 days, and recovered pretty well. It was a subdermal hematoma, and so...
Okay, so after the Chick-fil-A, take me from there.
Okay.
He just followed me to my place. And I lived at the time clear on 18th Avenue.
Remember the address?
1801 and a half 18th Avenue.
I have a feeling that this woman was put up to this by Nichol. I just have a feeling.
And
To show, it wasn't just one person. It was multiple people that he was with.
then we got out, kind of. I smoked a cigarette, and I went inside, and it was really, like, fast. It was really aggressive, and then he left.
Okay, and what do you mean by fast and aggressive?
He was very, like, rough. That's all I'm gonna say. And, like, I don't know, like, in all honesty, like, it's just, I'm not, like, I just, like, remember seeing that face, and, the tattoos and the Anadarko job and stuff like that, and the name. But other than that, like, like I said, like, I couldn't pick out, like, 90% of the guys that I've been with, and, like, I know it sounds awful, but, like...
Yeah, that does sound kind of awful.
It just seems unreal that, I would know somebody that did that, like, I keep having these doubts, so I just, I'm just not 100% sure. I mean, it's just like that all the details, match, like, it's just...
So what point did he tell you his name?
An app.
In the app, he told you his name was Chris Watts in the app?
Well, not Watts. I mean, you know, you just put your first name.
Okay, so he never told you his name was Watts? So how do you know it's him?
I just recognized the face and everything.
Okay. Tell me about his tattoos.
I remember
I think Baumhover's like, I call BS.
they were on his back and his arms, but other than that, I don't remember. I don't remember much. I know he had tattoos on his arms and on his back. Other than that, like I said, I'm not a strong witness or anything like that. It's just an interaction I have with my son.
Do you remember seeing the tattoos on his legs?
Did he have any on his legs? I can't remember.
You said, describe what you mean by aggressive when he's aggressive with you.
Somebody's telling her stuff.
I really don't want to say much. I really don't.
Well, it's a pretty important case, so you're now in the middle of it.
What's that?
You're now in the middle of it, at least this part of it. So you said that he was being aggressive, so you need to...
Man, I really wish Baumhover was on NK with the questions. Like, he's like to the point where he's like, you're in the middle of it, spill it or get out kind of thing. Like, don't waste my time. Tell me what's going on.
Tell me what this about.
I don't know. I was told to not really say much without a lawyer.
I was told not to say much without a lawyer. Why would you have to need a lawyer if you just slept with the man? Does that make sense? That does not make sense.
I just don't want to incriminate myself anyway.
Well, I can tell you that I'm not looking at you for any criminal danger as a witness. Okay, so don't worry about that.
I don't know. I just remember kind of. It was like, I don't know. It's just like, it's hard to explain. It was like it's humiliating for me to talk about. Like it really is. Like, you know, I mean, he was rough, as in, you know, it's just. He tried to, you know, like stick
What?
it in my butt.
Eh.
It's weird. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, but what else that was aggressive? Or how did you
Like
feel?
pulling my hair and putting his arms around my neck. It was like a rape fantasy thing. That's how I, you know, like describe it. And I was really like, you know, I mean, I just remember thinking like, what the fuck when he left? Like, I actually had to like push him off me at one point.
Okay.
Make him the aggressor. You know what else said about the butt? NK? This sounds way too, like, rehearsed almost. Like, a lot of what she's saying mirrors NK. Well, one, she doesn't know half of anything she's talking about.
I'm sorry, but I have to ask that. Back up. Did you have your ID with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see that real quick, please. What's your current address now? Is it on your DL there?
No, that's the deal. I haven't gotten it.
Oh, yeah, ID card.
I'm not believing a word this woman says.
So what's your current address now?
2106 and a half 8th Avenue.
So you were saying that people are taking pictures of you now and following you around, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me about that a little bit.
Pictures here that I screenshot and people screenshot and send them to me.
Okay. What is this, Facebook?
Yeah, it's an article
Screenshot
from
from it?
Facebook. And then on the other ones. They're using I deactivated my Facebook and everything because of all the messages and stuff I've been getting, but yeah, that's...
So you don't have any of that anymore?
But why would she be getting all these messages? There was only one mistress that they knew about, which was NK. They didn't know about all these other alleged mistresses or what's a mistress that's a man? I don't know. But it doesn't make sense. Like, how would they know about her and taking her picture, and it was never released about her?
The messages? Yeah.
What are the content of the messages, I guess?
I can pull some out. So somehow my messenger is still active, even though I deleted my
Shocker.
Facebook. I don't know how that works, but like I didn't accept them, but this one's like... So the content of them is like that. Back how this started is my big mouth. I joined a group that's like this Kimberly Kessler this thing in Florida.
Is that same Kim that was like talking with Cindy and Rodney? I think it is.
Hairdresser that went missing and accused like one of her coworkers of her disappearance. And so it was called like a sleuth group or something like that, and they created one about the Watts case. And there's something about like, oh, I wonder if, there was a history of infidelity. And stupid me, I'm like, well, I met this guy on Tinder, and I'm not even kidding, within like 2 hours I had like 400 notifications and, like 30 messages, and like I deleted it. I deleted everything. I deleted my Facebook, and then, just all of a sudden, like, reporters and news people got like, they tracked down my phone number, they tracked down my email addresses, and even like, know where I work, and, I was like put on suspension at work because of those pictures and stuff floating around I don't want.
The picture you just showed me?
Yeah, my boss sent me that.
Can you pull that back up for me? Can I take a picture of that?
What picture was that?
So when you said that I met this guy on Tinder, who are you referring to? Chris Watts?
Yes.
And that's how everything got out.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't see nothing.
When did that happen?
I want to say like a couple of days after it came out that he had killed her, that he killed his family. So it was like when it was discovered that all the details. So it was a couple of weeks ago, probably like timeline wise. Let's see, because I was at work, so I don't have cable or anything. Everything I see is from Facebook, and I'm not on very much. And
one of these things just doesn't belong here.
so like I had no idea any of this was going on until I joined the group. And I saw like it's weird because one of my friends is so Nichol, you talked about, used to be her name. She was my manager over at Supercuts here in Greeley, and she was Shanann's best friend. She's the one that did all the interviews and stuff like that. And so I saw something on her Facebook about like Shanann missing and stuff. And
so she was friends with Nicole Atkinson?
I didn't know like it was that Chris. So it's a small world.
So when you said Nicole, you and Nicole worked together?
A long time ago.
And that was how long ago?
That was when I was still married. Probably like 2013, I want to say 2013.
Okay, do you know him? You said Utah?
Mm-hmm.
And at where?
Supercuts?
Where?
By Walmart and Noodles on just West 10th here.
Okay. And you are positive the guy you met on Tinder?
I don't think it's Baumhofer. Or I don't think Baumhofer believes this.
That's the $1 million question. Like, everything matches up from, from what I remember. But
Which
I'm
is
just,
not
like,
much.
Not, like, confident enough to get up there and be like, yeah, that was him. Like, if it were just weeks ago, that'd be I've been like going back and forth with this the whole time. I am like 99.9% that it's him. You know, like honestly, like all the other guys that I've, you know, hooked up with, I really couldn't point them out in the crowd. You know, I just went like, just crazy. Like that's all I.
I don't believe this for a second. You can't tell me that you don't remember any of the people that you've slept with. I don't believe that for a second. Am I wrong? Do you remember everybody you've been with?
I can like really say like, you know, there's all these men, you know, like, you know, I'm honestly, you know, I just 99.9% sure it was him.
Okay.
Like I wish I had more. Really wish I did, but you know, it's like I don't.
The 1% doubt is because of why?
Probably because of the complexity of this case.
What does that mean?
I mean, just the not, you know, wanting to get involved, just not, you know, like believing it's true, you know, just kind of denial about, you know, being a whore or something like that, and like coming, you know, forward. But like seriously, like I just that 1% chance, you know, it's like I'm more like leaning, I guess, I just like every like, you know, just what I have in my head, like, you know, just those images that I can't get out are kind of burned in there, you know, but I have this like these doubts, you know, like it's just I just don't know.
Okay. Did he talk about his family?
He just said that he was separated. Like I said, he was baby mama, wouldn't let him see his kids. He didn't say anything else, but I didn't remember him saying that. And then the Anadarko conversation are the only two kind of conversations that we really had.
Okay, so he told you he worked for.
So you just met, talked about Anadarko, talked about your kids and separating. Then you went back to your house after meeting up at Chick-fil-A, did it, and that was it. Is anybody believing this? Because I am not believing a word this woman says. I think this woman was hired or sent in to be a diversion to get the whatever scent might have been on NK to be off of her. I don't know.
Anadarko. And was that before or after you met him?
This was during.
During what?
Our meeting, yeah, at Chick-fil-A.
At Chick-fil-A. Okay. Did he ask you what you did?
Yeah, you know, I did hair.
For Supercuts?
No, I'm on Great Clips in Portland.
That's where you're at now? Okay. And were you at Great Clips at that same time you met him?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can think of that I need to know that you think I should know?
I definitely call you if I think of anything.
Okay.
What did it say?
Is there anything else that you can think of that I need to know that you think I should know?
I definitely call you.
No, I don't want to call you if I don't want to call, or I want to call.
If I think of anything.
Okay. With that, I'm going to give you my card. Okay. And hang on just a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was hoping to hear something like outside. She took a picture of the card. Now, is she saving it or is she sending it to somebody? So that looks like it's all that there is. It's just her that sits there for the next 15 seconds. Again, I think this woman was put in, like Trent, to throw off any looking towards NK. Because if they had more mistresses and misters or whatever, however you say it, they would look at them too besides NK. But NK was the main squeeze. I don't think they found anything when it came to information about this woman or Trent. I mean, Chris did tell us that he wasn't with anybody else, but again, we can't believe a word the man says because he's a habitual liar and a monster. So, do you think that this woman was involved by being either hired or used as a pawn to get the heat off of NK? I think so, allegedly. I have to say, I can't say for fact. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Don't forget to go over to Secret in the Dark and give them the love that they deserve. And subscribe, comment, like, and share as always. We'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.